So, you have a movie for me?
I am a collector.
Australian legends.
This is...
And go.
What's up, everyone? It's Adam from FWCI, and I have not looked into the Marvel Disney Plus Day reveals yet. X-Men, some sort of X-Men thing was announced, which I'm very, very keen about. But yeah, just got so busy, haven't checked it out yet. But rather than just look at the reveals, I'm going to check out the new Rockstars breakdown of all the announcements. This only goes for like 15 minutes, but Eric Voss is awesome. If you guys haven't subscribed to New Rockstars, definitely go do it. This is a channel that I've been following for a long time, and they always come with like great content, good quality, and if you are into your superhero shit, you've probably already heard of them. I don't need to tell you. Go check them out because they're fucking awesome. Let's check out the breakdown of the reveals. Let's just jump in.
Rockstars, I'm Eric Voss, and Marvel Studios just revealed and confirmed 16 major titles coming to Disney Plus in the next couple years. Some of these we already knew about, but we just learned about even more, like Agatha, House of Harkness, Echo, Marvel Zombies, Spider-Man Freshman Year, X-Men 97, all...
What? That's the cartoon. If you're wondering how much I love that X-Men cartoon, I'm just going to splice in a picture of the whole fucking toy collection. Actually, I still need Beast and Rogue. But, shit. Is that just going to be like a new...
All of these are having our minds zipping through endless possibilities like Dr. Frickin' Strange. Now, of these, I am definitely most excited about House of Harkness.
Yeah.
I'll explain why in a bit, but first, we gotta go through all of these to explain Marvel's release timeline and overall streaming content plan, because I am so pumped for this. Let's start with Hawkeye. The first 2 episodes are gonna come out November 24th, Thanksgiving week. Gonna be following Clint Barton, Hawkeye, and his new trainee, Kate Bishop, Haley Steinfeld, as they face off against the Tracksuit Mafia. These guys always saying, bro, bro. Show's also gonna feature Vera Farmiga as Kate's mother, Eleanor Bishop, and Jack Duquesne. I think we can assume it's gonna set up the Young Avengers in the MCU, of which Kate Bishop Hawkeye is a big part of. New Rockstar is gonna be covering Hawkeye every week with Inside Marvel after shows and of course scene-by-scene breakdowns of all the Easter eggs you missed. Disney Plus Day showed us some awesome new footage from this show. The scene where they flee the Tracksuit Mafia while stealing a car, taken directly from the Matt Fraction David Aha comics. We hear the Nutcracker music, and they have this awesome unbroken rotating tracking shot in the car with director Rhys Thomas looking like he's paying direct homage to Alfonso Cuarón's amazing shot in Children of Men. I'm so excited to see this series. But moving on to the big headline from today, Moon Knight.
All right, so Hawkeye, I'm going to be reacting to Hawkeye on this channel as well. I'm keen for it. Like, I'm down for the MCU to start adding new properties that really don't have anything to do with necessarily even superheroes or crimes or stuff like that. So I'm fine with them, expanding into different characters and really making this world not just, high velocity superhero shit, but like everyday kind of people and actual relatable situations, which the MCU seems to be going further away from that with the multiverse and everything. So I think it's a good time to, ground some of the characters in this show as well. So looks good.
Coming soon, hopefully early 2022, starring Oscar Isaac as Mark Spector, who gets possessed by the Egyptian moon deity of Khonshu, giving him supernatural abilities connected to the lunar cycle, but all depicted in the form of dissociative identity disorder. Gonna be an amazing point of view show. Oscar Isaac's gonna crush this.
Wow.
Ethan Hawke is gonna be playing an unknown villain in it. Gaspar Ulliel is gonna be playing Midnight Man, and I'm super excited to see how Moon Knight can connect to characters like Blade and Black Knight, Dane Whitman, in a possible Midnight Sun series that could also bring in characters like Ghost Rider and Mephisto into the MCU, potentially link up with Agatha Harkness and House of Harkness. Then of course there's...
Shit. Yeah, that's a good point. They're building a whole supernatural wing to the MCU now. We got Blade, we're gonna get Black Knight, Moon Knight as well. Yeah, that's kind of wild there. Mephisto and Agatha and Scarlet Witch, I guess. Fuck. Wow, that's a whole... Yeah, so that's not even anything to... Jesus Christ, this universe is getting big. This is getting ridiculous. I feel like in 2030, some poor, 18-year-old kid is going to go, you know what? I'm going to start watching all the Marvel stuff from the beginning, and they're not going to finish until they're in their 50s.
She-Hulk, starring Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters,
Yes.
pro-attorney and cousin of Bruce Banner, who somehow
What?
is going to get powered up into She-Hulk, who is an amazing character in Marvel Comics, member of the Fantastic Four, associate of the Avengers. Mark Ruffalo is going to return in the series both in his Smart Hulk form and in his human form that we saw in the Shang-Chi post-credit scene. However, he reverted back to human form. Probably shows that he has mastery over when he transforms into Hulk, which
Good on
is
him.
how he's going to help his cousin Jennifer power up into this form. But in the Marvel Comics, She-Hulk tends to stay in her green form throughout her normal life. It's going to be a 10-episode legal comedy, and Tim Roth as Abomination is going to return in this show. We saw him in
10-episode legal comedy? That actually makes me even more interested to see that. I always thought She-Hulk sounded like such a lame character. Like, just the name She-Hulk. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure it will grow on me. It's already grown on me since those days anyway. But if that's going to be a comedy and we're going to get, like, more Hulk stuff, that could end up being... That could be a sleeper property right there. I'm very pumped for She-Hulk.
Shang-Chi as well, making me
In fact,
think
she's a lawyer.
everything that's going on with Thaddeus Ross and Val putting together a Dark Avengers or a Thunderbolts team with
Thunderbolts,
Yelena
yep.
Belova, John Walker, potentially Abomination as well, could all play into this series. But Jamila Jamil is going to be playing Mary McFerrin, aka Titania, who was turned into a superhero by Doctor Doom. Now, will Doctor Doom play into this series? We'll see. Might be a little early for
Maybe
it.
not.
For me, it's
Yeah.
never too soon to bring Doctor Doom into the MCU. Now, confirmed
Yeah.
for summer 2022 is Miss Marvel, starring Iman Vellani as Kamala Khan, a Muslim Pakistani-American teenager living in New Jersey who idolizes characters like Harold Danvers, Captain Marvel, who seems like from this trailer footage is going to get hit by a similar blast of cosmic radiation that we saw Harold Danvers get hit with and Monica Rambeau go through as she passed through the Hex Wall of Westview in WandaVision. So all three of these women are going to come together in the Marvels film, Captain Marvel 2, coming February 2023. But this series is going to be an origin story for Kamala Khan. In the comics, she gets hit by a Terrigen Mist, which is how Inhumans get formed, but I'm less confident that the MCU is going to bring back the Inhuman mythology and instead might make Kamala Khan a mutant, something I go into in the video on that. But in the comics, she has the power to embiggen her fists or limbs to stretch out, kind of like Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, but it looks like on this show they're going to be dialing that back and instead reframe her powers as a kind of like Green Lantern style genie magic where she can project a larger fist that is made of that cosmic radiation. The next title we...
All right, that's I like the fact that they're tweaking her powers because I'm actually really excited for Kamala Khan to come into the show. I enjoyed her character in the Avengers video game, even though that was all I enjoyed from that video game. I just liked where that character was coming from and the backstory. You know, she's kind of a super fan and things like that. So I'm actually really excited to see Miss Marvel and the Marvels. I didn't realize that the Captain Marvel 2 was going to be Monica Danvers and now Kamala Khan. So yeah, I'm down with that.
We know of is I Am Groot. So it's going to be kind of like a baby Groot origin story. The title card shows up with like leafy muscles and a crazy leafy hairdo. Genealogically speaking, Groot is a Flora Colossi from Planet X. There are a lot of these tree-like
Planet X?
beings. So
Isn't that where
origin
Marvin the
story that
Martian
shows him
wants
with
to
his
take over?
family before he discovered his new family with the Guardians of the Galaxy and specifically with Rocket. I would love to see an episode where baby Groot first meets Rocket because I've always speculated that there could be some kind of like divine significance to Groot with his ability to regenerate but not keep his memories. And in fact, I've always wondered if this whole Embers of the Universe that was introduced in episode 2 of What If could be rooted in what Groot is made out of in the MCU at least. Following that, we'll have a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special.
I guess on the topic of that as well, a animated Groot show, you know what? Do it. Why not? All it's going to do is add more, you know, layers to this whole universe. And I mean, what are they going to do? Like a live action Groot origin story? Like, do an animated one. I'm totally fine with that. They did such a great job with What If. I'm happy for them to keep doing animated shit.
From James
As well
Gunn
as
directly,
live
that is
action.
going to be canon in a way that the Star Wars holiday special from the 70s is technically
Yeah.
canon as well,
Yeah.
because it was the first appearance of Boba Fett in any Star Wars property. So who knows what debuts will come in this Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Perhaps the debut of Will Poulter as Adam Warlock. That dude, by the way, got jacked. But then we got a reminder, something we already knew, that what if season 2 is coming? We can assume that it's going to explore the consequences of the Watcher's actions in the final episodes of What If season 1. Like, he had this oath that he broke. Are there going to be other Watchers who come to punish him for that? Are other big cosmic forces like Galactus going to drop in? We got a little Galactus cameo there, where giant Ultron Infinity just took a bite into a galaxy like a donut. We also are confirmed to have another Captain Carter episode. The showrunner said that she's going to be a focal character of the whole series. The post-credit scene of season 1 showed Captain Carter and Black Widow on the Lemurian Star finding Steve Rogers' Hydra Stomper armor, suggested to have Steve inside, but in this reality, will Steve have been corrupted by Hydra as part of a Winter Soldier program? Then we got confirmation of a new series we didn't know was going to be happening, Echo.
Yeah, what is
starring
this?
Alakma Cox, who plays Maya Lopez, aka Echo, in Hawkeye. She is a deaf superhero with the ability to mirror combat moves, kind of like what Taskmaster was supposed to be in Black Widow.
As long as we keep Echo away from Homelander, then she should be okay. Fuck, I just watched season 2 of The Boys again, and damn. What was that guy's name?
Maya Lopez's father worked for Kingpin in the comics and was actually killed by Kingpin. A lot of the criminal entities we're going to see in Hawkeye actually do work for Kingpin in the comics. It's a great opportunity to bring in Wilson Fisk into the MCU in this show. Hopefully we'll see that in Hawkeye, and if not Hawkeye, in Echo, which is going to be a spinoff, and I think we can all hope be kind of like a Daredevil season 4. We need Matthew Murdock in the MCU. Echo would be a great opportunity to do that. We also got a tease of Loki season 2. I think this is going to be coming out right before Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which is going to be July 2023. And in the second season, we're definitely going to see more of Kang the Conqueror, who in the new reality that Loki ends up in the season finale has warped even the TVA, something that we thought was neutral ground, so that a massive statue of Kang has replaced the statue of the Timekeepers. We also last saw Sylvie in the Citadel at the end of time after slaying He Who Remains, and she and Loki seem to be now star-crossed lovers in separate realities altogether. So I think the world building is going to continue in different vectors altogether, giving us more insight into where exactly the TVA is and what parts of reality Kang has already.
And it must be unbelievably complex planning these things so far ahead with like scheduling and actors and all that. They must be something in a contract that says like, you must be fucking available like at this time. Like, do not take anything else, even if it looks like this has been delayed. Like, you have an obligation to not take other jobs. Like, man, trying to schedule this would be fucked.
Warped. Kang remains the most fascinating villain ahead in the MCU, someone who ties in with the Fantastic Four and the Young Avengers. Then, interesting announcement, X-Men 97, which is going to be a continuation of the amazing Fox 90s animated series that I grew up with. My first access point to how amazing the Marvel world is. They're using the same character designs. It's going to be coming in 2023 with a lot of the same voice cast coming back from the 90s series, along with new voices. So the original series ran from 1992 to 1997 on Fox Animation. This is going to be picking up right where that left off. I mean, this series was so crucial to everything we love about the MCU now, because it directly inspired the 2000 X-Men film that launched the careers of Hugh Jackman and so many others, including Kevin Feige, who was an associate producer on that film, and that launched his career to the trajectory where he could give us the MCU as we know and love it now. And then another animated series, Spider...
Whoa, okay, fuck, it's going to continue on, but how does that work though? Because, man, okay, now my brain's just going fucking crazy because they've covered everything. They've covered the Dark Phoenix. They've covered, Wolverine's origin. They've covered, like, all the stories, like Days of Future Past. They've done all of that in the animated series. It was so good and they did it so well. But does that mean if they're going to continue it on, that we're going to see, like, MCU, like not MCU, but like other heroes now come into it? Captain America, Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, are they going to infuse this current Marvel world, not like a multiverse thing, but just like they couldn't just have all of those characters in the X-Men series back in the day, or maybe they could, but they didn't. And what if they could now have a bit more freedom to involve all that? I think I said at some point somewhere they should introduce the X-Men in What If. That should be the introduction of the X-Men, was an animated introduction of it. So I'm pumped for that. I'm not pumped that it doesn't come out till 2023. That sucks. I wish it would come out much sooner. And the reason I don't want to be patient for it is because I feel like that is going to precede the introduction of mutants into the MCU. So that just makes me feel like that is still a while away. And mutants, that's what we want. That's what we're all waiting for, is the mutants.
Spider-Man freshman year. Fascinating. Looks like it's going to be animated in the style of the 60s comic books, the classic Spider-Man from the old days. It has yet to be seen how connected to the MCU canon this will be, because it's a big deal to have Spider-Man, which is still a Sony property, on Disney+. This is going to be run by Jeff Trammell, who is a writer and actor in the Cartoon Network series Craig of the Creek, so I'm excited to see what comes from this. But we also got a reminder that Ironheart is coming, starring Dominique Thorne as Riri Williams, an MIT student who idolizes Tony Stark and then engineers her own Iron Man armor to carry his legacy. Actually, Riri Williams is expected to first appear in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, if that movie can ever come out, because I know there's a lot of drama on production there. I've always speculated that Riri Williams could have been one of those students at MIT when Stark did the speech there in Civil War, which could be a fun scene to revisit. Like Tony Stark and Mysterio Quentin Beck and Riri Williams could have all been in the same room at the same time. And this title card design looks like it's a heart that has been welded together, with each letter having similar welding aesthetics to it. I would love if this show includes a shot of just Riri Williams, just like Tony Stark, hammering away at her armor. Okay, but then the big title I'm most excited about, Agatha, House of Harkness.
All right,
now, we did learn that Kathryn Hahn as Agatha Harkness was getting her own spin-off. Now we know the title is House of Harkness. I don't think I'm reading too much into it to say the House of structure is gotta be important wordplay, given all the parallels in WandaVision, and probably with the Multiverse of Madness, to the House of M events in the Marvel Comics. We'll know more for sure after a trailer for Multiverse of Madness and after that movie comes out in May 2022. But if Multiverse of Madness is House of M, this show being called House of Harkness is gonna give us our own unique look at Agatha Harkness's inner world. Because at the end of WandaVision, Wanda left her in that weird, creepy trance. It was suggested that the rest of the Westview Hex faded away after the final battle of WandaVision, but we don't know exactly what happened to Agatha, suggested that she was left in that kind of trance, which is kind of a creepy thing for Wanda to do to her. Now, coming out of WandaVision, we know that Agatha for years was trying to be the alpha witch herself. She absorbed all the powers of her coven that tried to burn her at the stake for bypassing the sorcery that she was supposed to limit herself to, reading the Darkhold. And while my Mephisto theories for WandaVision ended up not coming true, it's
I love the Mephisto theories. I'm down for more Mephisto.
Reading the Darkhold, and while my Mephisto theories for WandaVision ended up not coming true, it still could very well be the case that Agatha Harkness has some off-screen relationship with Mephisto. We even learned of a deleted scene from WandaVision where her rabbit, Senor Scratchy, was going to be revealed as a demon in disguise, her familiar who chased those kids around the dungeon. So Jack Schaefer is returning as showrunner on the series. This is going to be very much a WandaVision season 2, and everything dark, horror-themed, supernatural, occult in the MCU going forward is going to be rooted in this show. We also got a reminder that Armor Wars is coming. This is going to be Rhodey's next appearance in the MCU, following the Falcon and Winter Soldier cameo where he told Sam Wilson we'll be in touch, meaning maybe Captain America Sam could come back in this series. It's also implied that Riri Williams' Ironheart could cross in as well, because this series is going to be following the theme of what happens if Tony Stark's tech gets in the wrong hands, which I would argue is the theme of, like, I don't know, 18 out of 24 MCU movies that we know of already. But specifically, there's a question of nanotech introduced in Avengers Infinity War. Some believe that Doc Ock could be using nanotech in his arms in Spider-Man No Way Home. Nanotech is kind of like a godly, powerful form of technology that Tony Stark and Spider-Man seem to have unique access to, I guess along with Pepper Potts, as we saw in the Endgame final battle. So nanotech would be like an interesting virus if it's in the wrong hands. I would love to see Arnim Zola show up in this show. Seeing how in the animated What If, it was implied that there was a version of Zola in that Siberian Hydra base. Could that also be the case in the live-action MCU, and Zola is still out there? Speaking of What If, we learned that Marvel Zombies is getting its own spin-off. We don't know if it's going to be a direct spin-off from What If, but it looks like it's going to spend more time embracing the Robert Kirkman comic series that the Marvel Zombies episode of What If didn't spend a lot of time adapting directly. But in the Kirkman comics, this virus's origin is crazy. It comes from an alternate reality. It's called the Hunger. It goes from reality to reality. The Fantastic Four get involved. Galactus gets involved. So the fact that this episode ended with zombie Thanos having 5 out of 6 stones, potentially getting the 6th stone, this virus could jump from reality to reality, and we could get the true Marvel Zombies storyline that we got in the comics. And What If director Brian Andrews is directing this series. And lastly, a reminder of the Secret Invasion storyline coming. We got a brief shot of Nick Fury. No eye patch. Is this Nick Fury? Is this Talos, who is impersonating him in Spider-Man Far From Home? I'm so pumped for this. This cast is going to be crazy. We know Ben Mendelsohn is coming back. They're going to have Olivia Colman in this show. Christopher McDonald's gonna be in the show, Kingsley Benadir, and it's gonna be asking the question of who do you trust? Who in the MCU that we have trusted all this time is who we thought they were has actually been a Skrull imposter. At the top of my list are Hank Pym and Karun from Eternals. But I'll be making plenty of future Skrull search videos in the days, weeks, and months, and maybe years ahead. So there you go, 16 new titles coming to Disney+. Hopefully all these will come out by the end of 2023, because I need my weekly Marvel content to keep me a happy boy. Let me know what title you're most excited about, and you can support this channel by checking out our merch options at newrockstarsmerch.com. Follow me at aka Boss, follow New Rockstars, subscribe to New Rockstars for breakdowns of all this stuff. We got a lot to break down in the next 2 years, and I can't wait to join you guys to watch all of it. Thanks for watching this. See you next time. Bye.
Sick. Yes, that was a fantastic breakdown. I'm glad that not glad that I waited, but I'm glad that I could react to this and learn about what these shows are with you guys. Fuck, that X-Men cartoon sounds so damn good. Oh my god. My nips are hard. Fuck. But yeah, so much to break down there. Agatha Harkness coming back for more is awesome. She was such a standout character in WandaVision, which was a fantastic show with some really, really good characters in it. I'm not sure about the zombies spin-off. I mean, I'll watch it and I'm sure it'll be good, but that's not one that I hear and I'm like, oh my god, yes, give me Marvel zombies. I know that the zombies storyline in the comics was pretty big and pretty significant, but I don't know, it just doesn't do a great deal for me. With that being said, that Spider-Man 60s animation one, what the fuck, that's raising questions big time. I'm keen to see more Captain Carter in the future What If series. I'd love to see Captain Carter in the full proper MCU, to be honest, because that character, I really, really enjoyed the progression of that character, especially as we got to revisit that character later on in the series of What If. By the way, I reacted to all the What If videos. Go check those out as well. They're all up on the channel too. So much to cover. Marvel's going to be awesome the next couple of years. I'm so glad there's so much Disney Plus content coming out, because I will be reacting to all of it, and that's going to be fucking fun. So subscribe if you're new to the channel, hit the like button, and as always everyone, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, see you in the next video. Peace.